Gina Conviction Carano, definitely a trailblazer in the sport of women's MMA. You know, it's amazing how many people try to discredit this woman when it comes to Cris Cyborg. But that's why the coach is here, to balance everything out. Stay tuned. Hadouken! All right. LDBC, this is your boy Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Combat Show, Sports Show Live. Ooh, I messed it up. But guys, let's go ahead and really get into this, okay? Because, you know, we know what media is doing. We know what they're doing. And the coach is here because I'm going to balance things out. And that's what I'm going to always do, okay? I'm going to balance it out. And, you know you got your cyborg haters that's running around here. But see, it don't matter. It don't matter because I'm going to still balance it out with their truth. And it doesn't matter. This is a pro cyborg channel, so I guess if people you don't like it, that's fine. But I'm gonna still speak that real and give you that heat, and that's just how it is. So let's look at Gina Carano, okay? Let's look at her career, okay? And this is just the tip of the iceberg, okay? I really can go into my mental Rolodex, but let's start out with Gina Carano as a Muay Thai fighter. You know, Gina Carano trained with Master Toddy, and if you guys know anything about the sport of Muay Thai, this guy, he's a legend in Muay Thai, okay? He's a legend. You know, by the time this dude was like, what, 10 years old, dude done already had about 100 fights up on his belt, man. I mean, it was ridiculous. You know, this guy, you know, he went out, then he moved to Vegas, and, you know, then that's when he met Gina Carano. He started training Gina. And it's kind of weird, man, because, you know, Gina Carano is the first American woman to win a title in Thailand. Now, you don't win a title over in Thailand, okay? You don't do that if you don't know how to strike, if you're not formidable. See, what a lot of people try to do is they try to discredit Gina Carano and say, oh, well, what did Gina do? Well, you know, Gina was nobody. Gina was this. And, you know, and I've heard ignorant comments such as this. But, you know, but we know that these are people, and these are people on TV and people in comments. They don't go back and they don't do any research. They don't really dig down into the history. Like, who is Master Toddy? And why was Master Toddy one of the best? Okay, he's one of the best, Muay Thai trainers around. But people don't know who he is. Okay, I'm sure many people know who he is, but I'm talking about the people that's making these statements about Gina Carano's credibility when it comes to Cyborg. They're ignorant. It's straight ignorant. And then second, I want to point out that Gina Carano in MMA had a 57% finishing rate. Now that means between knockouts and submissions, but that's pretty high for a woman. Because women, you know, overall, if you take the entire sport as a whole, every single woman to ever lace up gloves and put, you know, the finishing rate is not that high, okay? But then you have the select few. You have the select few that are just larger than life that can finish people at a very high rate. And that's a skill set that you obtain. That's not something you just luck up and you just happen to be a great fighter. You obtain, these are skills. Gina Carano was a skillful fighter. Gina was a very precision-based striker. Okay, she was so accurate. And Gina Carano, if she landed that right hand, it was lights out. Gina Carano was knocking people out. She was breaking ribs. Gina Carano was, in fact, a very good striker. And people always made a comparison, yeah, but could Gina deal with Holly Holm? Gina would have destroyed Holly Holm in her prime. I'm sorry, Holly Holm struggles with these Muay Thai fighters. She struggles with them. And I think that between kickboxing and Muay Thai, I think Muay Thai, you have to be more physical. You have to be a lot more physical in Muay Thai. That's why, you know, Valentino, that's why Jermaine Durandame, they were able to do what they did because of the physicality of Muay Thai, okay? Let's talk about some of these notable wins, okay? And also, Gina was 7-0. You know, she took out some trailblazers before meeting Cyborg. She beat Kelly Cabot, and I don't know if people know who that is, but, you know, that's another person who's going to go down as a trailblazer. Kelly Cabot was a small. She was a flyweight fighting bigger girls, okay? Her natural weight was flat. She was a natural flyweight. And this girl, Kelly Cabot, had a 76% finishing rate. Guys, that's almost astonishing for somebody that small. to just be finishing people like that. You're finishing bigger people. But see, at the time, you know, the weight classes, they were kind of shady. So it's like you took the fights that you could take. You took them, okay? And sometimes it meant that you had to fight against somebody bigger than you. That's what Kelly Cabot did. So, I mean, Kelly Cabot, you know, 9 submissions, 7, you know, knockouts. And guess what? Gina Carano beat the submission. She beat all these people with all these submissions and knockouts. Do you know that these were very dangerous fights for Gina Carano? Extremely dangerous. And she won. Because a person that can submit you and knock you out, you know that they're twice as dangerous as a person that can just do one of those things. But when you got somebody very balanced that can knock you out or submit you, that's probably the most dangerous fight of your career. Then she beat Tanya Evinger. She beat Tanya Evinger at her own game. She put a rear naked choke on Tanya Evinger. And you got to go back and watch some of the fights. Some of these videos of her fighting, though, some of the fights they've taken offline. Some of them, they're not there anymore, so you may not be able to find them. But, you know, years ago when I used to really study Gina Carano, and I've been studying Gina for years and years, you know, looking at her technique, you know, why she was so successful. And she was so successful because she was very accurate and she knew how to deal with each style. Like, to deal with Tanya Evinger, you got to be something special, okay? It's amazing. Cyborg and Carano, they fought the same person. Gina is a naturally big person, okay? Tanya fought most of her career at 135 pounds. Carano and Cyborg, they beat the same person, okay? And Carano submitted her, Cyborg beat her to death. I mean, it's just like, wow, you know? But then we're going to talk about something else in this video that's going to be really, really eye-opening, and it's going to kind of throw you for a loop. Gina Carano beat Julie Kedzie, who was a pinpoint fighter, in my opinion. Okay, Julie Kedzie, you know, her ground was pretty good, her clinch was pretty good, but she definitely was good at pinpointing and really keeping distance. Gina Carano managed to, you know, beat Julie Kedzie. She managed to beat her. And then honorable mention is Rosie Sexton, who, you know, again, when I see a female that can get 10 wins or more in MMA, and if you're doing that, you know, convincingly, that's a feat, because to win 10 wins in MMA is very, very tough. It's extremely tough. And, you know, there's just so many different ways that you can lose in women's MMA. It's so many different ways. Well, in MMA, period, you can lose on so many different technicalities. And Gina Carano got through all 7 of these ladies with no losses until she met Cyborg. See, again, we look at what Gina Carano has accomplished. This woman was more than credible. And I think Gina Carano going to be a tougher matchup than Holly Holm. That's just my opinion, okay? And then they said, well, you know, and then they were saying, well, I don't think there's anybody on Cyborg resume who can beat Holly Holm. Gina Carano would have. Marlos Conan would have. Maybe Ediane Gomez, who very aggressive. A lot of people don't even know who Ediane Gomez is. But there's one person that Holly Holm and Cris Cyborg, they share. There's one person that they share, and I really want to point this out to y'all. Okay, so there's one opponent that Cris Cyborg and Holly Holm, they both share. There's one. Jan Cuddles Finney. Yeah, her name is Cuddles, okay? And, you know, maybe some of you know who Jan is, maybe some of you don't. Let me tell it to you like this, okay? You can watch both of the fights. The fights are still up. Holly Holm beat Jan Finney, okay? No doubt about it. Holly Holm beat Jan Finney. Cris Cyborg beat the hell out of Jan Finney. There's a difference. Okay, and I'm just telling y'all. Styles do make fights, but Holly Holm and Cris Cyborg, they approached this fight in 2 completely different ways. Holly Holm, you know, she did what she did. She kept her distance, and she picked Jan apart from a distance, you know, and she did a good job of it. Cris Cyborg engaged Jan Finney immediately, broke Jan Finney down, and she broke her foot off and Jan Finney behind. I'm just saying, she whooped Jan behind. Holly did it in 3. It took Cris 2. Cris just beat on her for the first round. The second round, Cris toyed with her for the beginning of it and then finally just put out her misery. Okay, Holly beat Jan, but Cris beat the hell out of Jan. There's a difference. This is your boy, Coach Sheldon Harris, and I'm done. What are you waiting on? Subscribe to the best women's MMA platform on YouTube.